because AI's played a big role in the artistic and creative space more than any other space, I would argue, today so far. So where does AI fit in its role in physics, space exploration today? And how is it used? Because I don't know how it's used in today's world.
Okay. So, do you know there's two types of AI? There's AI and then there's AGI, which is general artificial intelligence.
Right, like sentience, as far as we understand.
Approaching that, yeah.
Right, approaching sentience.
And so we're still just with AI.
Right.
And basically we're looking at large data sets and pulling out from them what is asked or looking for similarity. And then we can assemble it according to the prescription you give, which if you've used anything, you have to be very specific.
Right.
And so it's not thinking at all, you wouldn't even call it intelligence because it can do sort of one task very well, very fast. And that's the advantage to it. Now I actually get aggravated because if you do a Google search for something, it'll come up and start giving you AI stuff.
Right.
And it's reading and it's just putting things together.
Right.
A lot of times they're not connected.
Not accurate. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of it, because it's a language learning model, it's based off of what the prompt that you give it.
Right.
So unless you are, even if you're extremely specific, the results you get may not be accurate.
Right. Right.
So doesn't seem very practical in that sense right now in the realm you're in.
Right.
Right.
Well, it is in another way. We do have things, neural networks, which are a form of AI, and they actually learn from having data sets that they can review or home in their calculations on. There's been big battles, by the way, of using your data, your personal data that Google would or Microsoft would glean from where you go in your websites and things like this. So that's used in training for AI and these neural networks that are behind it. And so there it's again learning how to do a task better and better. And that's used in physics a lot now.
Yeah.
I mean, a real lot. And one of the reasons it's also used is because we have so much data that it's impossible for humans to comb through all the data, to examine, to search for particulars that they're interested in their research.
Right.
So we do, in a real sense, data mining, where we have programs that can look for some specific things and other things, correlate them as well. So it's not a simplistic approach to it. It can be fairly complicated. And that's really where physical sciences are headed. At least, I would say they're headed that way. Probably biological as well.
AI currently, though, is, the most advanced AI that we know of, which I guess is OpenAI. Maybe. There's others out there now. But it's based on the language learning model.
Right.
So do you think that the language learning model is where artificial general AGI is going to head us, is going to lead us towards? Hey guys, if you're liking the content, please give this video a like and leave a comment. And if you want to stay in the loop of upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe. Doing this really helps me with the algorithm and getting the video viewed by more of you guys. Thanks so much.
No, I think it's got to be something else.
Right.
And I think we just use the language model because that's how we communicate.
Right,
language.
Exactly.
So it's going to have to be more mathematical. The algorithms are going to have to not depend always on these data sets, but almost start to think for itself is, I guess, what I want to say.
Well, and that's the question is, even for me with the language model, there's no way I can wrap my head around it. No matter how much it learns, it's just a function of the program. And I don't think and I think a lot of people in that same community are coming to terms with this, that it's not just going to a flip's going to switch one day and it's going to be oh, I'm a computer. Right. So I think the means do have to be different for that to happen. But do you think that AGI will AGI be, is the definition of what we say AGI is, which is artificial general intelligence, is that it's understanding of its own consciousness? And what is that? Is that when you just amass enough knowledge to know that you exist? Is that technically AGI, or is that just that it knows that it exists? Because you could talk to a learning language model that say it exists today, right? But is that just what it's learned from the model?
Yeah.
And last one, is that any different from what we say? When we say we exist, is that just as as crazy and far-fetched as when an AI says, or a language model says it exists?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's realizing it exists. I would say that it exists on its own. Okay, and I want to explain that. So I always have to go to examples when I think of things. So let's look at an AGI model, and you want to mine iron because you're in the steel building enterprise, and so you want iron. So you actually make an algorithm to search out where iron is on Earth. You have it be able to control automated machines that will dig and basically create their own mines, M-I-N-E-S, not DS, mines. And so it becomes a self-sustaining operation. So it knows that, okay, this digger needs to be replaced. So it's making general decisions that impact what it's searching for, okay? And I wouldn't say it knows it exists, but it has another danger. I mean, it exists, yes, and it's existing for a purpose, but I don't think it's aware of what it's doing. However, even at that stage, it could say, okay, my goal is to produce a lot of iron and do it very efficiently. And so it's looking, and then it finds out that, there's a lot of iron in the core of the Earth. So it starts digging a mine down and down. Does it care what happens? No. Does it care about humans around? No.
Right.
So in a sense, it's just become, even though it's general, because it has all these components that are doing different things, it's so singular yet in purpose,
right,
that I don't think we can say it knows it exists, because in order to know you exist, you have to know that others exist outside of you. And I don't think it does that. So,
yeah. And so in the sci-fi realm, in the movies where the aliens, take over, or the AI take over, and in a real world sense, it would be more along the lines of disregard for humanity, not because it despises humans or think that, we've done so much wrong. It's going to be more along the lines of, it's inefficient and it doesn't match with what my singular goal is.
Right. That's what I think it would be.
Yeah.
I think, and there's a danger there. But turning on us, like I couldn't see it taking over all the nuclear weapons and shooting them off at each country, create a world.
That's Terminator 2 right there. Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah.